Jolie boy,
No,
long time no see.
Yeah, we're finally here after years and years of you telling me we should start a podcast.
I remember it during the pandemic. There were some hot topics that needed to be discussed.
Yeah, but those topics we can't really talk. If you want to say those topics, say the years between 2020 and 2022, then more on years. That's what I call it. Yeah, and then people kind of like clue in what I'm talking about.
That was very scary.
Yeah,
I think that's what do you think? Do you think there's more to come? I do.
Actually, my prediction, I've been paying really close attention down the rabbit hole. What I think is going to happen is you're starting to see it in the UK and the States, and it's going to bleed into Canada. It's also happening in Germany and all Western countries. The immigration. So you have these extreme third world country people coming into our countries, and they just say extreme Muslim or Islamic and Christian values and Catholic values. Like there's not anywhere conforming or getting along at all. They're already trying to get in Toronto Sharia law voted in. Same with UK, like House of Lords have already acknowledged, because of the declining birth rates on white Catholic or Christian people, that is 1.2 people per 2 people, and Islamic or Muslim people are having 3 to 4 kids per 2 people. And with all the immigrants we've brought in by just 20 years, they will outbreed us. They'll have the majority vote, and it will be their country. And they're already making TikTok videos about how they're bragging how we just took over your country, and it's our way. And there's only the only province fighting back is Alberta and Texas, Florida. That's it. The rest are fucking like, oh yeah, come on in. And the pet stuff, have you seen the pet stuff?
Well, the other thing is, like, if you even bring up a concern, even in a gentle way,
Yeah.
you're deemed racist,
Yeah.
bigot,
Yeah.
xenophobic, or all these buzzwords where
Yeah.
you're just like, hey, I have a genuine concern here. Like, how can we not?
I know, I'm a nationalist. That's what I say now. Everyone's like, no, you're racist. I'm like, I have brown friends and Asian friends that are born here for a lot of generations, and they're concerned. I have people from Romania that come here. They're like, we're going back. This place is fucked. Look, even they're just like, not even like the immigration, just the cost of living is retarded. Like me and Natalie are attempting to buy a house, and we make really good money compared to most people. And we have to sell our firstborn kid to Satan. Like, the bank wants this, they want that. Like it's so demonic on how hard it is to afford a house in Western cultures.
How does to what?
How hard is it to afford a house to eat, or even qualify, or even to like a $2.5 million house, you need to make $200 million a year to the banks, plus 200 years of credit checks. Like, why is it this hard? They're just trying to force everyone into condo living, multifamily units because of population problems. Having backyards is a thing in the past. It'll never be a thing. And then it's just like, our Western culture used to be so beautiful, say the 1930s, 1940s, family-wise, family values, or even like church values and all that stuff, right? Like, it was just a better society overall. But today it's like, the best term, it's like godless, if I had to say. Just no fear of anything, just out of control. Just anyone can be anything. You can cut the balls off a kid tomorrow. Like, it's crazy. Like, in the States, they're passing laws that if my daughter, hey daddy, I'm a boy. No, you're not a boy. Then he goes to school, I want to be a boy, but my dad won't let me get the sex changer hormone blockers. The state can now remove the kid from the family and take control of it, and then go get its surgery done for it, because we didn't want to do it for it. Like, that's the world we're going to, and people are voting for that. Their body, their choice.
What do you think of that? The trans, that's a topic within itself.
The trans, like, the gay thing is totally acceptable, but the trans thing is a completely mental health problem. My view and my opinion, it's completely child trauma. As a dad and my wife, it's our absolute duty overall, our own personal happiness, to make sure our kid has no child trauma. This is why I want to have a podcast on banning divorces, especially if you have kids. People can say, oh, he beat me. That's like less than 1% of the population that happens to. Women lie all the time. And we're going to listen to this video right here. You can watch right there about that.
Divorce should be illegal. What if the husband's beating the wife?
Ooh.
See, as women, we always go to the extreme. Why do we gotta bring up the 1%, 2%?
It's not. I've been in two domestic violence relationships.
So did you press charges with the police?
No, of course not.
Okay, but so how do I know that's true? How do I know that's true?
Because I'm saying that it happened.
Yeah, but
I don't get it.
No,
what?
but I'm saying because women always come on here and they'll say that, but it's like I don't know if that's true.
Why
Because
would
you don't
somebody
know
say that for the fun of it?
Why?
Yeah.
Because women lie all the time about abuse. Divorce.
Women's for sure fucking lie all the time about abuse. Women call everything abuse. You tell women not to wear something because it's too revealing. She calls it abuse. You tell women not to go with their girlfriends to the clubbing. They call it abuse. You know what I mean? Like you were a married man once. Like, I'm not sure if you want to elaborate on what happened to you or your views on it, right? You know, help the boys out. Because like I think the biggest decision any man or woman can make in this world is who we choose to marry and who we choose to have kids with. I think that's the ultimate, because those two main choices in life are have lasting effects the rest of your life here.
Divorce should be illegal.
Yeah, with kids.
You stand by that?
I stand by. So before we say no one's married, right, in the world, and then there's a law that says marriage is illegal. So that would make both sexes really think about who they're going to choose to marry. Like, and now a lot of days people just get married to have a ring, to have a wedding. It's
Nothing.
You don't think so? No, I
just keep going.
Like a lot. So say a group of girls, one girl gets married, then chain reaction, they all get married. Why is that? Because they all like to compete for the best wedding, and like they all have to do what their friends do. One girl has a kid, then they all start having kids because they feel lonely. Like, it's a weird little group gang thing they do. But then if we have actual consequences to our actions, sorry, the cat, I forgot to put it away.
That's okay. That's fine with me.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah. So but if we had a severe consequence, you know, like it's illegal, you're stuck with that person. Obviously, there should be some exceptions, you know, if there actual is physical abuse or physical harm verbally too. Like, if you can actually prove it. Like, a lot of people lie just to get out of things. Like, a lot of people, the biggest reason why people get divorced nowadays is because the woman's not happy. And then she just gets up and leaves, wakes up one day and just leaves, right? Because her women say, "Oh, you deserve better." That's the number. Like, guys rarely beat women that I know of. I never really hear it. Like, people just can use that as an excuse. For sure, there should be a few exceptions, but like, we should make it a serious decision. Especially even have kids with this person. A lot of people have kids without getting married, or even intention of getting married with any of these people, just to have kids because they're lonely and bored, right? Like, but then what's the outcome of these kids, right? They turn into, look at today's society. My wife works K to 5, and she's fucking like terrified of the new generation. They have no discipline, no people skills. They're all entitled. They think they're furries, gays, trans, they're non-binary, they're something, right? So, yeah. What do you think about divorces being banned?
Banned? No. I have a Christian worldview, so that shapes my sort of moral framework on a lot of topics, but especially divorce. So the exceptions would be, so I agree that I think they're too easy, and people, you know, they don't follow through on their commitments, and there's devastating consequences. So for sure, I'm with you on that. Making it illegal, no. Death of a spouse, cheating of a spouse, or abuse, which is a kind of open-ended question, like what qualifies abuse?
Yeah, but there's
physical, mental,
you have to prove
sexual,
it though, right? Like, just like when a woman's like, "Oh, he hit me," I'm like, "Okay, so where's the proof that he hit you? You know, actual proof, not that you hit yourself. You know, like what kind of abuse is it, right? Like, just like if he's beating the fuck out of you, or like I've seen women beat the fuck out of men. Like, I got beat by a chick once too. Yeah,
abuse goes both ways.
Yeah, and you know, I took it because I'm like, I don't want to go to jail.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about financial abuse? That's a big one too with guys. Like, we're gonna get married to a girl on the 20. Like, my cousin just went through. He's not even married to this girl. He got wrecked. Took him to the cleaners. They were together for 2 years. Not even married. Just common law. And it was just like a divorce that the lawyer said. And he's still paying today her lawyer fees, and still paying her alimony and not child support, but spousal support. And he lost everything. He lost half his company. He had to start a new company, and everything. And then he got charged he had to pay her portion of the income tax on the wages. And he's still going through it today, and he's just like he's just bending over backwards because he can't even get a hold of the lawyers. Lawyers don't want to even talk to him without, 20 grand more to continue on. And he's like, I can't do this anymore. Like, I'm getting destroyed financially. Like, that's the biggest thing is the finances, man. Just women are today just like, oh, on the 25th month, I can just claim I'm not happy and leave and get a paycheck. Like, that's terrifying. That's like a lot of girls do that today nowadays. That's
do they? I don't know. I don't know that realm very well.
You've been single for a long time.
I've been single for a long time. But that's not like why I'm trying to be single. I'm not trying to avoid that. That just stuff never has crossed my mind.
No, but you're a good single though. You're doing single for the right reasons. If I had to say it, you're not single just to bang chicks, or probably don't do any of that stuff, but you're just single just to do you and learn and better yourself and just explore your journey.
Yeah,
right?
But I agree. It's marriage is one of the most important decisions you're going to make on this earth, who you're going to marry. And we are both sexes are far too casual about that. I mean, this whole culture we live in is very transactional with sex. They treat it, there's nothing sacred about it. It's just come over, and it's like going to a drive-through to get food or something. It's just so simple. It is meaningless.
Yeah. Like as I get older, like, my past, we've been together for childhood friends for a long time. Like I definitely had my fun, but as the older I get, I'm not, it's not a thing I want to do anymore. Like, I actually believe that I've become more wiser, and especially have a kid now, and we're trying to have more kids.
Well, right. And you have a daughter too,
yeah,
right?
That I actually don't, I just want to only procreate now just to have kids. That's it. Like, I don't like the 20s. Yeah. You do your fun and stuff, but like your 30s, I'm just like, it's because of what you said. Like today, the girls are so bad sexually. Like they just go through, it's like a drive-through. Like some of these girls sleep with 5 guys a night, and it's like absolutely repulsing, disgusting. And then like if you get something, or you get her pregnant, or like,
but that does swing both ways, Joel. Like I mean, it's not just the shit on the ladies. I mean, men can be absolutely awful as well, and are awful.
Yeah. I agree with you. Yeah. I'm not proud of my past. I'm more disgusted with myself as the older I get. I'm more like, I was very, I don't even know the fucking word for it, but like I was going down the path of just the wrong path, maybe, like, you know what I mean? And then when I
would have been there right there with you and Tyler, like 100. I was there. I had my Jesus moment right in time. Like all my friends, Matt and Steve, everyone. And we were going down that path.
I think you were a little worse than me though.
What's
like
that?
You were a little worse than me. Like you were like,
I would have been
jail worse.
Yeah.
I
wouldn't be here. I'd be dead.
Oh,
I would have.
Sure,
I'd be in jail for sure.
Yeah, you're scary.
Yep.
I remember you would stop me on the side of the road when I was getting a Slurpee, and you'd jump over a car and try to scare me.
Like no one believes it. Like, I mean, there's so long ago now. They're like, yeah, that was not you. I'm like, 100% was me.
I just drove by the church that we used to smoke pot on top of on 37th out there.
That's
I drove past Kayla's house where we were to break in and stole money.
Easy.
That was me, not him.
That wasn't me.
Yeah. No, you and me both come far along a way, and like the biggest thing is like I keep my Facebook as a reminder of my past. I don't delete anything, no post, nothing. It's so embarrassing because when it 10 years ago today pops up thing, it's like reminds me of how far I come and how far I have to go. It's like I was like, I look at myself back now, like I wish I go back in time, just kick my own ass. You know what I mean? But like, you're such a loser. Such a loser. Don't date till you're 33 until you meet the one, Natalie, and then just stay with her. Like, I honestly wish we could go back 100 years culturally, family. I'm like a big family guy. My wife knows it. Like, for example, we have a family member. She has 2 kids with this guy. They're very close with us. She moved to Saskatchewan for a cheaper living. He sold everything off to go be with his family, like any good man should, because they got a free house from another family member over there, just to live free, to catch up on bills. He was traveling back and forth for work, province to province, and then she stopped coming here to visit his family, and then I'm like, red flags in my head. I'm like, oh, she's probably having an affair. Like, that's probably what it is. And you can just read a person's energy. And then she just finally posted a picture of her new boyfriend, shirtless, holding his kids on Facebook. And then it says, don't come back, caption to the husband. And I was so mad. This happened 2 days ago. I was so fucking mad at her and him. I was like, I'm such a big family guy, and I want to bring back traditional families, and that's like the worst. I don't know, whatever pain he's going through right now. Like, I just looked at it and like, I don't even want to process this because I can't even. It would just set me to 100.
Yeah, it's devastating.
Devastating. When you have kids, it's just another man touching your kids, holding your kids in your house that you pay for the bills.
Yeah.
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 Like,
yeah,
there's some.
I feel that.
I think I'm having a bad day, and then there's bad days. So what do you think you're gonna do? You're gonna get married again or no?
Yeah, I will. I have a couple things I want to finish. I want to do a PhD in psych, and it looks like I got accepted into a program. So that will start in January, and that's kind of full speed ahead if I get into that. So that'll be 5 years.
Yeah.
So maybe sometime in between there. I also have a passion for traveling. I've told you that.
Oh yeah,
a million times.
you just went traveling. What did you find the difference from here to there?
I've been to Mexico a lot. I bought a chunk of land down there. I love Mexico. I've been
nice.
to Colombia. I've been to Korea.
Yeah.
The United States. Yeah. So Latin culture. It's beautiful, man. It's very beautiful. The food, the people, the culture, the faith, they're very welcoming. I can't really say anything about it that I didn't enjoy. I didn't want to come back in a lot of ways. Everything was
Would you know the biggest difference from here to there is like cultural and family and people and.
Well, that's just it. Family is everything there.
Yeah.
They look at us like, what are we doing?
Yeah, we're losing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the most saddest thing. Like, my intro of this podcast is a 1930s intro of like just family and coming to the dinner table and being together and working together and helping each other out. And it's such a sad thing because we used to be such a beautiful place to live and such everyone wanted to come here. Now immigrants come here and they leave. Like, they're gone. They're like, I don't want to come back here. Then you travel the world. My wife is very well traveled too, and she gets depression that she lives here because she's like, the people suck here, but their cost of living is so high. It's stupid. It's not necessary. Yeah. You know, everywhere else is about family and love and happiness. Like, the majority of it is, and everyone's generally nice. Even the men and women are generally nice to you. And like, I noticed when I did a little bit of traveling through North America that I could go to LA, even though it's not really far out, but like, they were generally nicer people than here. Like, Canada is very stuck up, very stubborn here. When I would go to Mexico, all the Spanish people or Mexican people were very polite and very happy and welcome you into your home. You know, I don't even know who the hell these people are, and they make you food.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of my friends are from different parts of the world, and they say Canadians they're nice to your face, but there's no depth. And I think that's accurate. Like, we'll be just like a little example. If you're walking down the street with your dog or whatever, like, we'll say hi, we'll exchange pleasantries, but nothing more than that. Where in other cultures that I've been to, it's like they don't even do that very well. But like, when you start becoming their friend, you become family. Like, when I went to Korea, when I'd walk down the street, there was like, I would be making eye contact to like say hi to people, and they didn't do that. So I thought they were rude. But they just didn't think that. For them, as it was explained to me, was like, it's a waste of time. You become a friend, and then you become like a brother.
Oh, small talk. Yeah.
So yeah, it's like the small talk is useless there. And then when I became friends with them through, like, I was playing badminton and all that, and they're like, oh, when you come back, like, this guy, I didn't even know him for like an hour. You stay with me. You let me know. You're like my big brother, or hyung, they call it, which is like which is the word for older brother. He's calling me hyung after an hour.
Yeah.
He's like, you stay with me. He doesn't know me.
Yeah.
You come, you stay with me. Like, would you ever do that to somebody you met?
I'm very well. It's actually because I'm a dad and I'm the protector, so I wouldn't be inviting someone I don't know in my house because I have girls in the house. I'm fucking paranoid, dude. Like, the worst thing about being a dad is the security officer. Like, we went to a wedding yesterday, and I had to follow my kid like I was her bodyguard, just because she's 2.5. Make sure she doesn't do anything stupid or get into anything dumb, eat the wrong thing. Someone doesn't, look at her in a weird way. You know what I mean? It's like constant worry, 24/7, and then, but I also love it. But like, my life doesn't matter anymore. My brain has completely changed to family, dad, and number one. Like, me and Natalie are so 1930s practice wise. Like, we kind of want to bring it back, and like we're still gonna have 4 kids. We just agreed on it, so we're trying for number 2. So every 2 years. So I'll be fucking God, who knows, old. But we want to bring back big families, and I see a lot of other couples that watch this podcast that they message me. I grew up with them. They have big families too. Like there's they're bringing back big families, because I grew up in a divorce home. My entire family's divorced on both sides. It's so embarrassing. You see all the stepdads, stepmoms. It's so embarrassing. Your mom getting railed by some stepdad, and you hear it. You guys remember coming to my house as a kid?
Don't say that. Oh, yes, I do.
Yeah, and it's just like, you know what I mean? Like, the biggest thing actually, like, me and Natalie, right? On 37th Avenue, my mom had just a triangle in there for a bit. I was like, this isn't dad. You know what I mean? Like, this guy's trying to tell me what to do, and I'm 12, and I'm like, you're not my dad. Get the fuck out of here. I think that brings in the worst child trauma. You grew up in a broken home, though, right? Too, I think, right? I think the majority of us did anyways. So, yeah.
Yeah, you're atypical divorce and dysfunction, for sure.
Yeah, it's just like, obviously there's a part of you inside that wish mom and dad might have been together or made it together. We all wish that. But, you know, like when me and Natalie kind of get in a little bickerments, we kind of like give each other the look like it'd be easy. Like, let's stop before it gets a little out of control, because our worst fear is us breaking up, and then there's a stepdad or stepmom on either side, you know, raising our kids. Like, it's because we grew up in both. Like, she grew up in a foster home. She didn't have a family.
Oh, did she?
Yeah. So the reason I always ask her, I sit down, like, why are you like the perfect wife? Like, to me, in my world, like, why are you like so good to me? Why are you so non-combative? You never tell me what to do. You are so loyal, so serving, so family first, so mom first, so selfless, like, and so loving. And it's been 5 years, like, so over the top compared to what I see. Like, to me, this is over the top. She's like, this is just normal for me. Like, this is, and it's also because I never had it.
Right.
And I want it
so
bad. Right. She's like, I can't say what her password is, but it's something to do with family. You know what I mean? And then I'm like, she's like, this is why, like, when we got serious and our daughter came along, she doesn't go out with her girlfriends anywhere, because I'm just like, why don't you go with the girls tonight to go have some fun? I'm like, I don't care. She's like, oh, because this is what they really do. And I'm like, oh, well, I already knew that. I just wanted to see if you would lie to me about it. And then she's like, no, I just don't want to disrespect my family or lose my kid or lose our situation we have going on. I was like, that's the most beautiful thing I ever heard in my life. Right. But it makes me want to do that back, because there's no relationship scoreboard.
Well, you got your wife, you got your kid, and more coming. Why would you want to throw that away in exchange for what?
For the
5
temporary
minutes of
bang.
passion?
Yeah, like me, I don't care what she does as long as it's not disrespectful. But then goes both ways. But like she went out for the first time to a girl's bachelorette party for her best friend. She didn't want to go, and I'm like, you need to go. She's not going to invite you to the wedding. She's your best friend of 30 years. Just go. It's in Seattle. Like, I do not care. Have a good time. And then, because when she goes out, she's like, comes like running home. She's like, all these loser dudes are trying to pick me up and talk to me, buy me drinks all night. And I kept saying no. They were being irritating and drunk. I just want to be with you and our daughter and at the campsite, you know, have fun eating popcorn. I'm like, and then it makes her like want it more. You know what I mean? Because it's like people always saying, "Oh, is it grass greener on the other side?" It's not until you go and check it out, and it's like, "Oh fuck!" Like when I went out to a bachelor or a guy party for his wedding, whatever you want to call that, bachelor party, and I was home by 10 p.m. I was like, I have no interest in being in the strip club, especially having a daughter. Strip clubs are now destroyed for me. Like, I'd sit there and I'm just like, this is bad parenting. That's all it is. Failed dads across the board. And I'm just like sitting there trying to parent them. And I'm just like, I need to go. I don't even drink. So, and all these guys are just hammered, drunk, talking about business or how much they hate their wives. And I'm like, this is nothing I have in common. Actually, this reminds me of the video of this guy, because this is what me and actually Natalie talks about the most.
My wife and I made a decision when we got married 27 years ago that we would never mention divorce, use the word divorce, joke about it. It's not an option for us. Where I have friends who in mixed company would say, yeah, my wife would divorce me if I did this. We don't make those jokes because we know that's not an option. So we burn the ship. We burn the ships. That option is not on the table for us. So when we have fights, which we do, like when we get upset with each other, we make sure that is not an option. We got to make this work. This is we're ride or die.
Yeah, my wife says she's my ride or die all the time, and just it's beautiful because I've been through where my relationship, or what do you call it, coach, or we talk through things. What do you call it? A counseling coach for quite a while there through my drug years and all that stuff. But she always says my ride or die. Always ride or die, and she like loves me for everything. And the best thing I ever did was her just be about. I was brutally honest. Date number one, like, this is who I am, bro. Oh yeah, because we did that relationship coaching advice where you said maybe I should be honest with someone, because remember all my failed relationships, or I was jumped into things too fast. Actually, no, now I remember, you were the reason why I made her wait for 1 year. I got to know Natalie for 1 year before I got serious with her. Before I jump into a relationship right away, within a couple of weeks of meeting someone, give them my entire heart, my 100%, all my interest and money and all that stuff, and then I wouldn't really get to know them, and I would just lead into ruin, and then I'd come running back to you and talk about like these bad breakups, right? And then you told me maybe you should get to know someone first, you know, veteran. And then I was 33, and I was just like, the next one has to be the one that I'm gonna have kids with. I just don't want another 2-year breakup, and then that's it. Like, I need to figure my shit out and grow up and learn from my mistakes. And for one whole year, I made her jump through hoops, like watched her how she acts with friends and family just to make sure she can be a good mother and all that stuff. She was great until she hung out with these group of girls called the Gals. I call them the Gals, and they were pro-feminists, all very large women, treated their men like shit, would go out and party while their men stayed home, paid all the bills, would go to Vegas and cheat on them while they stayed home, paid the bills, stuffed their faces McDonald's, came home at 4 a.m. smelling like bad perfume and dick. Like, and I was just like, she would go out with them, and then I'd be like, hey, I know what you're doing. I know what type of girls these are. Like, I wrote the book on, you know, being a hoe. Like, I know what these girls are doing. Like, just don't lie to me. And then we fought about that for an entire year. Plus, I just got through a breakup, so I wasn't really interested in dating. And then, but she was a good prospect, you know, because when the right one comes along, it doesn't come on at the right time. You know, it just happens. And now we're here 5 years later. After we got rid of those group of girls, we don't fight anymore. And then I got rid of my last 2 single friends. That was the next fight. Was I had these 2 single friends that kept inviting me out to boat parties. It sounded fun. I was like, that's the old me. I'm trying to have kids. I don't want to go back to that.
Right.
I don't need any temptation. I don't need 18-year-olds naked on the boat, you know, while I'm hanging out with her. If I expect her not to hang out with losers, I should stop hanging out with losers. Now our rule is we only hang out with people that have kids, or family-minded only, that have children around the same age as our daughter. And since that new rule came into effect on both sides of our world, we haven't had a fight since. There's nothing to fight about. Now our relationship is so like dialed in is the best word to say. There's no such thing as perfect. We're so dialed in at 5 years that we actually have to have a hypothetical fight just to have a fight about something that's not even happening. And we'll just laugh 20 minutes through the fight. Like, wait, we're fighting over nothing. We're so bored of like not having confrontation in our relationship. You know, we have confrontation at work and stuff with other people, but we don't have confrontation in the family. When you come to our house, we create a perfect, good energy vibes, family first, all about the kid first, and the family unity, staying together, because we don't want any childhood trauma. Like, I grew up in a loud, arguing family, you know, fighting 24/7. She grew up in a foster home where no one wanted her at all. And everyone kept passing her up and all that stuff. You know what I mean? And she was raised by an 80-year-old grandma. She just met her real family on Ancestry.com 3 years ago, her real grandparents, and found her real dad. And
Where?
through a blood test. They live on the island, the grandparents, and dad lives in Calgary.
Wow.
Yeah.
Has she made an attempt to reach out, or?
Yeah, I flew her out there when they met. She started talking to her grandparents, and then we met them at Walmart for sushi. I was there for the first visit, and I was like, "Wow, you look twin. Your grandma could be your mother. You guys
that must have been so intense for her."
No, it was the most awkward thing I ever saw. I made the entire conversation on both sides.
Really?
You know, I'm in real estate, so I can bring parties together.
Yeah.
And I was like, you guys need to like talk. You guys are family. She's your twin. Like, you guys look exactly like each other. And now we see them. Now they're that was year 1, but now they're full in our life. They call us almost twice a week. Well, me too. Like, I call him my grandpa too. Like, he's the coolest guy in the world, Keith and Zelda. They're very much involved with our daughter's life. We go over there on the island to visit them 4 times a year on long weekends, and they come here on Christmases and birthdays and be the grandparents. Dad is a province over, so he's a bit hard to see. I flew her out there. She was supposed to see him. She canceled on him because she was nervous.
Yeah, I bet.
And I'm like,
I bet.
because her whole life she grew up thinking her dad was dead, died in the military, but no, he was alive, well in the military. And so she canceled, and I'm like, no, I'm paying for your flight and hotel. You're going. Like, this is a thing that you need to experience. I don't care what it costs me. You're going for 2 days.
Right.
I have to put it on my credit card, and she's the biggest reason. Well, I'm broke, can't afford. I'm like, I don't care. Just this is something as your husband you need to go experience your dad. And she flew out there, and the most upsetting part is he made her stay at a hotel. And didn't really feel welcoming. And then he has 2 other kids with someone else, and they're allowed to come stay at his house no matter what. He goes and visit them. They live in Arizona and plays hockey, and he flies down there and visit them, but he hasn't. We've only seen him twice in 4 years. He won't fly down here to see his granddaughter. Won't fly down here to see her. It's, I think it's his wife is the problem. She's wants the perfect little family, and this is the first question she asked was like, what year was she born? Did you cheat on me? I was like, oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
They text once a week, but that's about it. Yeah. Yeah. So she's like, if he's not going to make an effort, I'm not going to make an effort. She's really with the grandparents. They make a huge effort. So
Great.
Yeah.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah. So like, it's weird to watch because when I first met her, sometimes I met her, I'll call her the foster baby syndrome, where like my family always comes over and always is part of my kid's life. Babysitting tournament, buys gifts, diapers. I haven't bought diapers since they were born. Does everything for my kids, picks them from daycare. Like they're too much, she said. She's, oh my God, they're always here. I'm like, this is normal. This is how it should be. Like your family's not enough. Like they barely see our kid, or for you, this is normal. So for 3 years, it took her 3 years to open up to my family and like accept them and bring them close. And I'm like, you should be friends with my mom. Like, go shopping with her. She keeps trying to want to take you shopping, buy you and our daughter stuff. Like, go, it's free shit. Go do it, right? Like, she's trying to make an effort, and she's like, well, every time I get close, people leave me. Like,
that's cute.
It's cute, but it's like
sad.
5 years. Like, let's get over it and move forward.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
Get over it.
Yeah, no, because like I'm close to my family and we do everything together, and it's just like my family's only going to be here for maybe like 10, 15 good years, maybe max, just because of age and health. And I'm like, just enjoy it. One day you're going to be the biggest thing was Mother's Day. I have 2 fucking moms. I'm like, let's just do it together in one day. You know what? Father's Day, I'll do it with my dad too. Like, let's just all hang out together. Like, I don't want to do separate things anymore. And then year 1 and 2 was always separate. And I was like, fucking so irritating for me. Now we just do it all together. And now the step parents have to be involved. And it's just like, so our Father's Day is like fucking 10 people. And like, and it's supposed to be about me, but I'm about the family being together. I don't care. As long as we're all together, I'm happy because I don't have any complaints. Because if we're all doing separate shit together, then I have texts all the way. Oh, you hung out with them an hour longer than you hung out with us. Weird. I thought you liked us more. I thought we did more for you than she did. It's like, oh my God, I don't care. Just come over. Let's hang out.
A lot of that family drama, hey?
Well, it's just like I kind of like yell at my real mom and dad. I'm like, if you guys can get divorced, I'm gonna have to do this fucking blended family shit. This is what makes me and Natalie want to stay together forever without blended families. It's irritating. It's just so many people have to be fulfilled to be happy or brought into the table. Like the step parents are the most annoying thing. I hope they don't watch this, but this is what I really think. They try to pretend they're real grandparents, and it drives me nuts. They expect the same treatment as blood grandma and blood grandpa. My dad and my mom get first priority no matter what. Same with her side, her grandparents, because they're blood. But the step parents, they're like, oh, well, how come you don't ever ask me today? So I'm like, oh, you're a fucking step parent, like I have to like you. I don't want to like you. It's one of those things. You're not really my parents. I tolerate you because you make my other parents happy and they don't want to die alone. So that is why you are allowed. I don't call you on your birthdays. Do I? No. You're not watching my kid. Stop asking.
Yeah, not looking forward to any of that.
Yeah.
I'll have that when I get married and have kids, I'm sure.
Well, that's why you got to just make sure you pick the right one. You picked the wrong one at the beginning, but that happens, right? With 90% of people apparently nowadays.
Yeah, that was quite the curveball, man. That was a curveball.
Are you over it?
Yeah, been over it for years.
Do you ever see her anymore?
No.
No.
I don't think about her. Or,
yeah, not at all.
I don't even want to talk about it.
I'm not over it.
Yeah, I'm over it.
How long you been single now? How many years?
I guess 7. I'm 37 now.
7 years,
so
eh?
we ended it. It wrapped up. It finalized when I was 30.
Yeah.
And
why'd you get married in the first place? Because you're 30, or
this is
just
29. We got married.
yeah?
29, 28,
How old was she?
20. I don't know. 25,
25.
25, 26.
Yeah. Make sure you bring the mic closer.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. I think I was 5 years older than her, or 4.
Yeah. How long were you together for?
About 5 years.
I didn't even know you even had a girlfriend, and then you got married. I'm like, what? You're very private about it.
Well, I didn't talk with you for a long time.
Like 10 years.
I started connecting with Tyler again. In the process of dating that girl, we all started hanging out.
Yeah.
Like her and Andrea were friends, and we were doing Bible study and going to church.
Andrea was friends with her.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And Amanda, Sean.
Oh, Amanda, yeah. I actually just ran into Sean at Earl's there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I just ran into him. He looked all business and all like proper, and I'm like, Sean, you haven't fucking aged. And I'm like, how's it going, bro? And they sat down, we just shoot the shit for a bit, and I could just tell he's the same old Sean.
What do you mean?
Yeah, I think he wears the mask well.
Mm.
Yeah, I think Tyler for sure changed. I think you for sure found your path and what you guys do. I think Sean
And what you guys do. What does that mean?
Wait,
Oh,
sorry.
actually
What
do.
you guys practice, or your beliefs or church. But I think Sean is, still Sean.
I only met Sean 8 years ago, so I didn't know him before. I heard about him through like Tyler.
I have known Sean well, yes.
But,
Yes, me and Ty Bender have hung out with Sean Doney a lot.
Yeah.
We had a great time. For a backstory for a lot of people to know, this is our party years, 20 years, where we did copious amounts of all strains of different things, potions, mixtures, girls, dirty.coms, acceptance speeches on the dirties, pretty much. Are we dating the same guy? Fucking wars, hundreds of women, just trains of it, just a blur of it. Like the weirdest part is from 22, I say 21 to 28 is a blur. Like I don't even remember it. Like my Facebook is my memories. Like just 10 years ago today, I'm like, wow, look at my pupils. I was a major addict.
I heard you boys went hard.
Yeah, we went
boys
hard. We did everything, banged everyone. Was empty inside of an empty hole that could never be filled for an eternity. And when I got clean, it was like, so I'm now 8 years sober off of the White Devil. Now it's like a lifelong sobriety. And I don't struggle with it anymore at all. Like I can see it and it doesn't even bug me. But now I did this food addiction thing where I lost 50 pounds in a year.
Hey, you look good.
But I think food addiction battle has been harder than with cocaine. Because it's everywhere. Everyone has an event. Oh, you want to go to this? I'm like, no. Like I went to a wedding yesterday. My stomach has shrunk so much that I thought I could eat like I used to. I had the worst chest heartburn where you get pressure up here, and it's like gas pressure and feels like you're having a fucking heart attack. And I'm just from 3 slices of roast beef and potatoes. I guess that had preservatives in it. I'm very allergic to that shit now.
Are you? You're super sensitive.
Super sensitive. That's the worst thing about being clean is that I can't eat out anymore because I don't know where they got their meats from or their vegetables from. If it's sprayed with pesticides or like instantly break out in hives and it irritates me and just ruins my mood for the day. I have to take Benadryl just to calm down. Or my stomach is just so like I had 30 years of bad eating. Now I'm clean for a year and 3 months. I got another 20 to go, so I'll be a total 70-pound weight loss because I want a 6-pack. I've always wanted a 6-pack, and I'm gonna fucking get my 6-pack before I'm 40, and I'm gonna fucking keep it. But it's actually it's the hardest thing is lose. Now I know it's cutting. Now I'm cutting till Christmas to go down to 175.
175. What do you know? 200?
195.
You're 195?
Yeah,
Okay,
195.
I'm 179 as of this morning.
Yeah. So I'm going down to 175. I went from a size 44 jeans to 33.
Wow.
Double XL t-shirts to size small. 48 or 52 jackets down to a 40. Just got my first 40 today. I had to order it. And my shoe size has shrunk from 11 to a 9.5.
Really?
Weird, yeah. And then what was the other weird one?
Bloated feet?
I guess so. And then now I have to get stomach surgery done because I got so much loose skin. Like if I stand up, it's fine. But if I bend over, I got like, I call it mummy tummy, wrinkly skin. Looks like I gave birth. I have so much stretchy skin.
Let's see. Edit it out.
No,
I want to show me after.
I'll show you after.
Well, as a kid, you were a big.
Well, I was 300
kid.
pounds. Yeah,
you were a big boy.
But I was when I had my diet coach on the podcast. It was 30 years of up. Like I went down to 180 when I was 19, and then shot back up to 260 for my entire 20s, up and down because of steroids and below. And then I was 230 3 years ago, and then back up to 242. And I'm just like, I'm doing something wrong. So the best thing I did was hire a accountability diet coach, and I weigh in every morning. I want him to be honest with me. He calls me a fat piece of shit, loser. I need that type of coaching. Why
didn't you hire me for that? I could have done that.
No, I don't fear you. I fear him. You make me laugh. I need someone to make me feel bad, and but he knows his stuff because it's not really a diet. Like this weekend coming up, I can have, as long as it's homemade food, it's generally fine for you.
Just eat real food.
Real food. That was the biggest thing I learned. Yeah.
Trees are from the ground or for an animal.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Or our rule, if it's not around 100 years ago, don't eat it. That's my rule.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now
Real
it's
food.
like just a lot of beef. I don't eat chicken because chicken gives me the white meat gives me the worst cravings. So cause I'm a salty guy. I'm not a sugar guy. So sugar doesn't even bug me at all. But salt, like best thing is I can make homemade popcorn. I don't gain any weight. Popcorn you can't gain weight on, as long as it's homemade, real butter, real salt, pink salt. It's fine. But I can eat homemade burgers. It's fine because burgers actually aren't even bad for you. It's just the carb of the bun. That's it. That's bad for you. Or the sauces, or processed meat. So you just make sure you make your own food. And I don't gain weight on it. I can lose weight on burgers.
Yeah. Are you watching your calories?
Right now I am. So I'm eating I don't weigh the calories, but I eat fist portions. My fist. So I'll eat. My carb intake is like 4 or 5 small baby potatoes twice a day. And my meal sizes are now half the size of my fists, just because I'm going to really cut down. I want to cut quick, because the quicker I get to 175, I can maintain. Because maintain means I can, on the weekends, I can have some burgers. I can have spaghetti or garlic bread. Right now it's like Monday to Sunday, it's just cutting. So it's just like by Saturday or Sunday, I'm just like, oh, fucking, I see a fat person, I start hating on them because I'm like, you're so happy inside, you can eat what the fuck you want. I'm like sitting here like, no, I can't eat anything today, fat fuck. And I just look
see your car at the McDonald's drive-thru, get a McFlurry. Joel, what are you doing?
I've had McDonald's in 4 years, so I've got kicked that shit a long time ago. No, I've had fast food. I don't do fast foods at all. I couldn't do it anymore. My body just actually ended up hospital because of allergies, because of it, the MSG and the food coloring. I'm so allergic to it. It just fucks me up.
Yeah,
man.
it's pretty gross.
When I got clean off my allergies, I used to have such bad allergies, and I used to take Benadryl or allergy pills all the time, and I thought it was just outdoor cat stuff. It was food. I went to a food allergy test. He's like, dude, don't fucking eat anything processed. Your body is saying no to artificial food coloring and MSG, which is a preservative. It's in all fast foods. I used to eat McDonald's 3 times a day. So he put MSG on my skin. It bubbled like it was like a burnt mark. He's like, that's why your stomach is so bloated after you eat food. And I tell this to a lot of people, it's because you're so allergic. Some people have so many food allergies, they don't even know it. The redness in your face is all food allergies. It's just, or like certain hive acne on your body is just all allergies. Most of it's artificial sugar. That's a killer. And like, now that I gotten so clean, I got my mom on the same diet. She's lost 42 pounds in 3 months. My dad has lost almost 50 pounds in 3 months. My stepdad has lost 23 pounds, but he had to lose weight because my mom lost so much weight. She started looking at him. She's like, I'm trying to get to my best. She was like 60% body fat, like almost 270 pounds and 5'2". And I'm like, and then she was like, always, oh, my joints hurt. And I'm like, what happened is I snapped. I was like, it was my daughter's birthday party. They're all big people, and we were cutting cake for everyone. And they all said no. And I lost. I'm like, you all fat fucks. You're all going to go to McDonald's after this. You're all going to eat a bucket of KFC, but you can't enjoy my daughter's cake because you're trying to watch what you eat. No, you're like, if you were all trying to watch what you eat, you'd be substantially better in health. And when I got like mentally clean and discipline cleaned, trying to hang out with people that make constant fucking excuses drive me insane now. No, you're just a loser. You're broke because you're not trying your ambition. You're not trying to be creative. You're not spending all your hours on this. You're buying bags of blow. You're fucking blowing money on dumb shit. You're not investing your money. Or even like people that are like, I eat McDonald's 3 times and I go to McDonald's or I go to the doctors. Why am I unhealthy? What's wrong? It's like, really, your intelligence is that low? You're that self-destructive that you don't even understand that you're eating pure poison? Well, it's the only thing you can afford. Well, then go make more money. I grew up in a fucking trailer park with my dad most time, or a rental suite with my mom. Like, I came out multi-millionaire, like, because I'm creative and ambitious. I risk everything all the time, 24/7. But I also study everything I do before I do it financially. It's actually not hard to make money as long as you just know where to invest and if you know the right people. I've learned everyone is just rubbing everyone's backs in the higher realms of the business world. If you're a 9-to-5 person trying to be rich, if that's your ambition, you're never going to get rich. You're a slave to the 9-to-5 system, and you will die a slave because hourly wages are designed to keep you as a slave. If you want to make the big money, it's commission-based job. If that's your goal in life, you want to make financially big money, don't work an hourly job. Do a commission job only, and because commission will make you starve for money. So if you don't have a check coming in, you're like, I'm gonna starve or I can't pay my bills. So like, I need to get off my ass. I need to go work. If you're in an hourly wage job and you're guaranteed a paycheck every 2 weeks, or a salary based job, you are comfortable. I have money coming in every 2 weeks. I'm fine. So you're complacent. So it doesn't light a fire under your ass. Doesn't make you want to get going. Like, I love it if I don't get paid for 3 months, because the amount of fire or motivation I get that just firestorms me. Then I get tunnel vision for like 11 months. And then after 11 months, it's just 6-figure paychecks coming in. Boom, 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 boom for the next 3, 5, 9 years, whatever it is, spaced all over, paid out over, just for tax reasons. And then it's just like, then I'm like, oh, what do I do today? And then the hardest thing is kind of winding down from that. I had to do that 2 months ago. I worked, I should never do this again because I'm getting too old for it, but I worked from November right till June 1st. And I was so mentally fucked. I couldn't learn how to relax. I lost the ability to have fun or relax. I didn't know how to do it. Like, I would sit on the couch and I'd be like, no, I need to get out and work, right? I need to go make connections, network, or build relationships, or do that, make this and make that. And then my wife was like, it's summer. I have summer off. I want to go to the lake house and let's enjoy your daughter. And I was just like, it took me a month and a half to learn how to have fun again and relax and chill. And I was just like, holy fuck, like, I was in work mode. I didn't realize, like, I was just consumed by the matrix of money. But I did really well. I made a lot of money, but like, I wasn't having a balance of happiness and fun and excitement or joy, and I was mentally unhappy. This is the last 30 days is the first 30 days I've had in almost a year and a half where I started smiling again. I started being happy, where I can joke around and laugh and bring my personality out and just want to be just with my kid and see every moment with her, or be with her, my wife, or whatever it is, or grow spiritually. Now I have to learn how to have balance next work period, because my whole thing is I work all winter and relax all summer. But the time I actually learned how to have fun in summer's over, and now I'm back to work. So yeah.
Right on, Joel. I'm happy for you.
I wouldn't be.
That's great. Good for you. Good for you.
I think it's like an overachiever, and then you just get stuck in it, and then you realize, oh wow, this is such a waste of time. Like, the more money you have, like, it's not happiness at all. There's zero fulfillment in it. Like, yeah, you can buy a boat, or like, I call it the York thing. Tyler's dad.
Yeah.
He has to buy the biggest boat, or Tyler's voice uses for him has to buy this. But when you get to a point of making financial dollars, I'm like, people without if you don't have kids or a family and they're just like single, they must be clinically depressed, because when you get to a point where you can actually buy things that you really want, it's fun for about 8 seconds. And then after that, it's like, oh shit, I have all these payments, or I just bought something. Like, why do you think Lamborghinis are sold after 2,000K? There's such a waste of money. Like, yeah, sure, a big nice house is probably beneficial if you can turn it into a compound and generational wealth. Yeah, that because you can make money. But depreciating assets like cars, bikes, anything that depreciates the day you buy is a waste of money. It's the dumbest thing you could do. Your career in life is you're doing your PhD because you actually want to do something good, right? Like me, I just wanted to be rich. I got rich. I probably was more happier when I was 25, 26. Yeah, like because once you get it, it's like it's nothing. It doesn't mean anything. Now all my money goes towards just building a generational wealth for my family, for my kids, so my daughter can have a better life, just financially. She can do what she wants to do within respect to our family, but like I don't want her worrying about a roof over her head or food in her belly. This world's getting so expensive to live in, so at least give her a leg up. Like I already bought her a condo so she can have it when she turns of age, just to help her out, because growing up poor sucks. You know what I mean? Like, you're a very hardworking kid, I know. You've been in school since I met you.
I know. Literally.
Yeah.
I'm 40. People, when I go to class, like, oh, are you the teacher? Like, no, I'm the student too. I made a joke with Tyler because me and Tyler were studying together. He's this huge guy. I'm like, they're going to think we're the teacher, bro. We're not. It's so funny. Like, no, we're the students as well. Both 40.
So PhD
40. I haven't even started my career yet.
Is a PhD 10 years?
Well, a PhD requires an undergrad, so that's 4 years, and then a master's, which is 3, so it's 7, and then your PhD, it depends what it's in, but like medical or psych, it's 5.
Yeah. So what is your end goal for this? Like, what are you going to do when you graduate?
I'll be a psychologist, so I can do I'll have my own practice. I'll still do counseling. I might do a nonprofit. I'd like to maybe travel and do like a nonprofit in a third world or something. I could see myself doing that.
But do you need a PhD to teach over there? No, it's just a here thing.
I could do it now.
Yeah.
I could do it now. Like I'm a registered clinical counselor now.
Yeah.
I do that now, but it's also just for me. Like I like learning, I like studying, I like seeing what I can do, and
that's the best part. I like seeing what I can do. I love that.
Right. And then like me having a PhD, thinking of that when we were kids, like that's hilarious, right?
Yeah. Well, for how far we've come along, it's just like I want to see where I can go. Like me being the fat kid and having really no friends, or being teased and being poor. When I saw, honestly, this is where the birth of it. When I first met Tyler, and I looked over the fence, and he had the boat and the trailer and the nice house and the nice cars and all the women. I was just like, I want all of that and more, and I want to beat him.
I've noticed that with you. I've noticed you've had there's something unique about Tyler to you, and I've never been able to put my finger on. Yeah.
It was. No, I told my wife, because I took her to 37th Ave because there was a house sold right across from us. My child house was for sale too, so we walked through it as reminiscing.
Oh, no way.
But then I'm like, this is where it all started, was me looking over that fence, and I didn't even know what money was until I met this kid. I didn't even know what family wealth was. Oh, he had a lake house too, and I was just like, I want to this kid in my life because I want to learn everything from him.
Tall, abs, wealth,
everything,
girls,
everything every guy wants at that period of time in his life. And then, then when I finally surpassed him, because his dad gave me everything, and we're going to be honest about it, financially. Then I was just like, I never stopped. I just kept going. And then it wasn't just him, but he was the birth of it. And then when I met a really rich guy once, I was like, I want to be better than him. And then, because when you talk to really rich people, sometimes they're actually super dumb. They're just good at one thing, or they have really good connections in something, or they're corrupt, or something illegal. That's what I always tell people. Like, if you really see a rich person and they're not family generational wealth, there's a probably 90% chance it's all illegal money. Like, if they're not working an hourly wage job, or they're the 10%ers that were good at something and got big doing something. That's it. Like, most of it's, I don't want to rat on them, but most people I meet, it's like definitely like mostly government people I talk to, like city mayors that I talk to, they're full on corrupt, full on paid off. Like, I'm not going to say who it is, but why do you think a lot or somewhere that's ALR farmland, they find somewhere they can swap it to non-ALR. So there's ALR farm, so there's multi-zonings in another city or another place, but this place in Langley is ALR. This developer just bought it for $18 million, and it's like 200 acres. But then as soon as they switch the zoning to multifamily, that $18 million is now like $200 million overnight in value. Plus they have the rights to build or piece it off to other developers on like a 20-year project. I know exactly where it's going in. I'm like, how is that not illegal? And how did that developer know to buy it exactly before the zoning got switched? And where is he getting his intel from? The city mayor is in on it, obviously. You know, I can't prove it,
Get
but
some kickback.
kickback,
Oh,
exactly.
I'm sure that, of course, that's going on.
Yeah, like look what's
everywhere.
happening with Langley. Look at the development crisis here. Look, there's no infrastructure. They're building all these freaking condos and townhouses everywhere, and there's no more roads being built, or they're not, and like the capacities are at limits. So, and especially SkyTrain's coming down here. So, and then we all know it, and they talk about us being respectable and honest and living by the code. And I'm like, the one thing I learned in real estate is, if you're just a nobody realtor, if you're nobody mortgage broker, or a nobody, just a 9-to-5 honest man trying to just buy a house, it's never going to happen. You need to have connections. You just need to know people to get things pushed through. Even like the banks, like I'm not even going to say the banks, like big A1 banks. If you know the manager, he can push things through. Like I've heard about it all the time. I'm like, because I called them out on it. I'm like, why is this guy getting approved? This guy's not getting approved. Why is my client not getting approved? Why is he getting approved? Oh, because we play golf with him. We're buddies with him. It's called exceptions. I'm like, this client has to work 200 times harder to get the same product, but your Asian friend, because they're all Asian and they come from overseas, how are they able to buy all this stuff? Like, how are they supposed to prove income and all this stuff? I've learned, I'm not going to talk about this because this could go down to really bad legal battles if people hear about this shit, but like, it's so corrupt, it's so demonic that I actually feel bad for the 9-to-5 guy that saves up 40 grand to buy a house and then just gets denied. And he actually earned it, worked his ass off for it. But this guy can bring in money from so-and-so, launder it through the Langley casinos. There was a huge thing on the news about that. And they kept their property still. They're still kept today. They're not even seized or anything. Like, it's just like, it's got to stop. Like, the amount of corruption here. But it's not just real estate. It's corruption in everything. Everything is corrupt. I've met the worst police officers that should never be police officers. Gang Squad themselves, they're the most biggest gang. They rip people off. They kick. I've heard stories where
it comes down to the individual, Joel. Like you and me too. I'm corrupt. I can be corrupt.
No, I agree with you. Yeah. We'll do anything for money.
You dangle the right carrot in front of me. It's a temptation.
Yeah,
and given the right circumstances, I might take it. I'd like to think I wouldn't, but
yeah, it's like everyone has a price with something, right?
You're a real estate agent. If you're a banker and I come to you and I need a little something on the side, you're a friend.
Yeah. The weird thing is how naive I've been to it for 12 years of doing this. I just learned this year, after 12 years of doing it, I always buy the book. I do everything by the book. I have a perfect record in real estate, no complaints, nothing, no investigations or anything, because I do everything by the book. My paperwork may be a little sloppy, but I fix it later. But I've just learned this year that there's a massive corruption in Canada real estate. That with
look at our leader, look at our politicians, of course.
Yeah, it's funny when CRA calls me for taxes that I owe. I'm like, hey, I got a good one for you. They're like, who? I'm like, Justin Trudeau. Go get him. Look at his taxable income, please. Yes. How was he worth like 40 million before the pandemic? Now he's worth 320 million on a 400K a year salary. Please explain that to me.
Right?
Yeah. And I'm like, I don't know how that guy is still in power. It's mind-boggling. I think it's because we're too complacent. And Fluff, this is why I lock you up, bud.
That, and I think he'll be in power for a lot longer too.
Do you think he's gonna win?
Win.
Yeah.
But win, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, like I believe with you too.
I think what you said with the immigrants
you have to bring it closer.
is the thing. You're seeing that in Europe. You're seeing that in the United States. Millions and millions and millions of people coming over. Give them tons of free stuff.
Free housing now.
Everything.
That's insane.
Everything.
So Trump,
and then call an election. If they fast track their citizenship, who are they going to vote for? They're going to thank Daddy. Yeah. Obviously.
Yeah.
Citizenship.
That's why they want no voter ID now. Yeah, like the Trump just got assassinated. I
heard
today.
On the way here. I was like, dang.
He brought up something in his debate where they're like, oh, the Haitians are eating animals, people's pets, and then I saw it's true. It's actually true. I saw videos of them kidnapping these cats or dogs.
They're eating the dogs.
It's true.
They're eating the cats.
It's actually true, though. I read in Texas though that they're eating not just dogs and cats, they're eating birds, ducks, whatever it is, and there's so many carcasses everywhere from all the immigrants being dropped to this one place, and they're putting two together because they do this in Haiti. It's like a ritual sacrifice. They practice voodoo, whatever it is over there. It's a real thing. Or if they're starving, they're gonna eat someone's fucking dog.
Well, yeah,
it's gonna happen, bro.
It's food in their country.
Yeah, it is food in their country just because it's not the norm here. And then I was like, it's true. And then they're like always fact checking him, and they're like, someone just tried to kill him again at a golf course. I'm like, and then they're like, oh, they probably the Haitians probably tried to assassinate him because of what they said about making a bad look on him. You know, Trump should have never have said that. That was their comeback on one of this news sources. I'm like, that's insane. You just tried to assassinate a president, and that was your only thing that you said on this one news channel. They're like so like, imagine if someone tried to assassinate Kamala Harris. Oh, you guys hate women. You hate black. She's not first, or she's not even black. She's Jamaican and she's brown. Like that's the weird thing.
And who cares anyway?
Yeah, who cares? You know what I mean?
No one cares about anyone's race.
Yeah,
who cares?
That's not true.
She's black. She's a woman. No one cares.
Yeah. I think she
this
actually
identity politics thing needs to die. It's such a big problem. This is such a big problem that's growing, and it's intentional.
No, it's for sure.
They want us to fixate on you're a white male, Joel. You're a white male.
Why say
privilege.
the white? Just say you're a male. You know, like Andrew Tate said this. He's like, 2 billionaires meet up on an island. One's black, one's white. Do you think they ever talk about race, or they just talk about business and be friends? They talk about business and be friends. He says racism's for poor people to keep us fighting amongst each other. You know, like, why do they always say you're a white male, she's a black president? Just don't say that. Just say she's a president, or he's a president. You know, say their gender, and then whatever it is. You don't need to keep saying race, because then you keep dividing us, right?
Well, that's why I think it's intentional.
It is intentional,
it's
yeah.
Intentional divide.
Like, I have friends that my best friend Matey, I call him Whiteface. He's the most Canadian you ever meet. I have people from Asia that come here. They're so Canadian compared to most Canadians. And I'm like, you should run for prime minister. You would do a better job than most of us here. And then they're like, and they make jokes. Oh, they'll never vote me in because I look brown. I'm like, yeah, but you're so Canadian. You're so good. I love you, right? Yeah. And then they just do it to bring on, I think they're trying to bring on a race war, if I had to guess.
Probably. No, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
It's the new Marxism.
Yeah.
You know, where Marx was bent out of shape out of people's finances. Now it's racial status.
Mm.
You're deemed good or bad based solely on your race, sexuality, or gender.
Yeah.
You and me are really screwed in this one because we're white and we're male.
Yeah. No, people on TikTok, they're making TikToks about they want white people gone. Like even like white people want white people gone. There's people, you know, they're doing classes on like white genocide. Actually, kind of on topic, we went to Fort Langley and we went through our you know, there had a video on there about our ancestors. It was a video on how bad our ancestors were, how demonic they are, how the massacre, they killed everyone to build this house. I'm like, where's the video of our sacrifices and triumphs? You know, people dying, sacrificing their kids to provide for. Like, without them coming here, we would never be living here today.
The only atrocities that we acknowledge are those done by white people.
Yeah,
we don't acknowledge the savagery in Native Indians who killed each other, genocided each other, enslaved each other. We don't acknowledge the black murders
or they sold their own blacks for slavery from Africa.
More whites were enslaved by blacks than the other way around. I didn't know that. Nobody taught me that. I had to learn that.
Yeah, people don't know those Asian slaves that built the railroads in Canada. A lot of people don't even know that. I'm like, did you know in the Roman times there were a lot of white slaves for 1,000 years?
It's where the word's derived from. Slavs.
Yeah.
Which meant white.
Yeah. Fuck, this thing is dumb. I'll cut that out. I don't know, it just didn't charge overnight, so that's why it's fucking taking sweet ass time. But yeah, no, what people are like so obsessed with the slavery thing is, I think, honestly, my prediction is Kamala Harris wins, Trudeau wins. I think Kamala will win for sure. I think Pierre could win, but I think he's also part of the you know, the problem. I think he's just saying the right shit to get in. That's my prediction. I don't think there actually is any good or you know, good politicians trying to fight, because if you're actually a true good person, I don't think you can make it in politics, because you need to have people in your corner that are all corrupt to work you, or they just cancel you. You try to do the right thing, they cancel you, throw you in jail, call you a pedophile, they do whatever it is to cancel you and destroy your name if you're a good person. I think Kamala Harris wins, and I think it sparks a civil war in the States, because they're trying to push civil war so hard in the States right now. And whatever happens in the States, it will bleed into Canada. It will bleed into Canada, because you're already starting to see, I don't know how this website's allowed on. It's on X. X is a free speech platform. It's called the Canadian Patriot. It's a person based out of Alberta. There's over 2 million people following it, all from Canada.
2 million?
Yeah, and it's all fucking people. Like, they say the most racist shit, like shit I couldn't even think about. And I'm like, how the fuck is this allowed on the internet? You know, like, it's so bad. Like, they talk about hanging them, deporting them. Oh, what happens if you have a black baby? You should go look it up. It's called Canadian Patriot.
That's bad.
And I'll send you the link later. It's so bad.
Brutal.
And the comments, I read comments, and if they're all like, yeah, let's deport them, let's hang them. Anyone that sleeps with a black or brown person, get them fuck out of our country. Like, and it's growing.
I wonder if he's like a paid, he's a paid bad guy.
I agree with you.
Right?
But like, it's getting
they sprinkle those people in. They sprinkle. They'll have like fake Nazis.
Yeah,
these marches. Look at these Nazis, so bad, and they're all masked, so you can't see their identity.
Yeah, well, that's what happened with the LGBTQ pages on Facebook. They proved that 90% of all the sites that promoted the shit were from China, just to fuck with our generation.
Yeah,
that's all it was. It wasn't even real.
That trucker convoy in Canada, I'm sure they sprinkled like one guy of like the hundreds of thousands of people had like a Nazi flag. Like, look, this is all Nazis.
Yeah, and he covered his face. Yeah.
Like,
I was suspicious about that one too.
I think that guy was just paid to go in there and wave that
Isn't
flag.
that Antifa? They pay these people to go into places
Probably.
and fuck shit up, and they pretend like, you know, like the January 6th, you know, Capitol Hill thing. Trump was like, I watched the whole thing, and what he said word for word was true. There could have been a few paid bad actors in there to start, you know, get people riled up and get people in to create more of a crisis to set them up. Like, it's not hard to do. You know, they did it in Canada with the Nazi guy playing and say, oh, there was nothing bad about that truckers protest. They're all good people that from what I read, and they had,
they were cleaning the streets.
Yeah.
They were singing, they were dancing. There was every single race out there.
And
like, there was natives, there were Indians, they're
most Indians actually.
Yeah, they were singing, they were all feeding each other, and it was like the most Canadian, you know, protest.
Yeah.
And then we'll sprinkle in a couple Nazis. That you need that, and then that's what the media will fixate in. Look, zoom in. It's all Nazis.
Yeah, well, I heard from source.
Disgusting.
I have a few buddies that are police officers, and they told me that the Ontario police or Ottawa police would not remove the truckers' protest, and what took so long is they had to fly in NATO military people to dress as cops to remove the people's protesters. They said none of those people that were removing the truckers or they couldn't even get tow truck companies to tow them out because they were so pro the protests that they did a military action with NATO military forces, but wore police uniforms not to scare the public. The military didn't even do anything. They're like, we don't see a threat here. We see you as a threat to the government, right? And then that's what really happened.
If only they joined, hey?
Yeah.
If only they joined.
Yeah, that was.
You saw a couple people in uniform.
Yeah.
In whatever uniform, police, military.
Yeah.
Doctors.
They made a lot of posts though. They made a post and said, "Why are you complying?" You know, I think it was Rob Ford's daughter that made that post. He's like, "We're not going to stop. My dad's not going to stop until you stop complying. So stop complying." You know, that was.
She's pretty based. I listened to some of her. I saw a video of her. I'm like, man, talk to your dad.
Yeah.
Why are you making a TikTok? Talk to your dad. He's like the. What is he?
He was the premier of Tom Ford, right? Or Rob Ford, one of the words.
Pick up the phone, call your dad. And she's like, don't follow this, guys. This is all like, you know, she's going down the rabbit hole a bit. I'm like, based.
Yeah.
Call your dad.
One of the best posts during those years is that you can't comply your way out of tyranny. We talk daily on this stuff. I'm just like, what's going on to everyone? And then my family fell towards it. You can't come over Christmas. You're not vaccinated. I'm like, Mom, I've been at your house on Christmas Eve. What about Christmas Day? Like, she's like, no, not that day. Christmas is canceled. I'm like, and then the day out, and then my daughter was born. I didn't talk to my mom for 8 months because of that. I'm like, I can't believe you of all people listen to that bullshit. And she said, I just don't want to get a fine. I'm like, I'll pay the fucking fine. I don't care. I'm coming over. It's Christmas. Let's get together. And then because my daughter was born, that's the reason I started talking to her. I was like, you know what? My mom is not perfect. She's an idiot on most things, but she is a good mom. She's an idiot like most people during those years, but I'm not going to deny her the connection with my kid, right? So,
but how could you know better if you're an older generation and you turn on the TV for the news and that's how you get informed?
No, I agree with you.
And every channel, no matter what, left wing, right wing, you see a death count, and every day it's just more deaths, and then like doctors, hi, this is a doctor. Get your vaccine. You need to get your vaccine.
Yeah.
People who didn't get vaccine, they're bad people.
Yeah.
Don't divide them. People are like, yeah, okay, yes. Like for
Yeah.
hours and hours for years.
Yeah,
that was
so what is that? That's called programming. You're programmed to see what TV says, and TV says to do it. Not even
Stephen Colbert, when he dressed up as a vaccine needle and he did a dance.
Yeah.
He's like, vaccine, vaccine. And I'm like, people are actually dancing to this. Be like, yeah, I got my third COVID.
Or
shot." I was
$100
like,
or a free cheeseburger.
or money or weed or food.
Risk your health for untested thing. The fucking
That mayor of New York City, so he's eating. You mean this comes with a burger? there's some French fry element to this.
And the funniest things today is like you and me stood strong. I almost caved in the first maybe 3 weeks. Yeah. 3 weeks because we're not gonna, we'll talk about something else. But like after the fact, I have friends that were so mean to me during those years because I was trying to like tell them a different view on it, and now they're like, man, I can't believe it. God, I had to get it. You're right. I'm like, I don't care. You're a fucking idiot. Like, you were rude to me. You were so mean to me. I couldn't go do anything. But I was awakened before, but it woke me up to the fact of how dumb and how easy people. It's a monkey see, monkey do. They just follow the herd. That's all they do. There's the one or two people that spring out like, no, don't do this. Don't do this.
Yes, but there was also a lot of people that, like in my industry, you get it or you don't work.
Yeah, that
literally.
was the biggest
I had
thing,
an email. It was December 15th. Like they're like, I held out. They're like, Jay, December 15th. If you don't have your first one, it's your last day.
Yeah.
And I was sweating till the very last day. I'm like, okay, well, I guess I have to get it.
Yeah.
And then they said by January you have to have your second one.
Yeah.
And I was like,
yeah. I think it was when they tried putting it on the teachers and then the cops, and the cops said no. That's when that was stop the train of forceful, because then other companies started like, okay, maybe we don't need it. BC was just like last month starting to allow the non-vaccinated to start working in BC hospitals. Like last month, people were like, when the United States opened up and started throwing football games of full packed stadiums, we were still playing it up here. Like it was like, we're still like hunkering down. The world's coming. It's coming to an end. You know what I mean? And just like, does not anyone else see the TV? Like, you guys like the TV? Like, that stadium's packed. Like, what's going on here?
Or the riots, or the millions of immigrants that kept coming into the United States. I'm like, okay, so you're shutting down everyone's business, but millions of people from all over the world, like, are coming. Are you screening them?
Yeah.
Are they vaccinated? No. But they can come in, but people's lives are being ruined.
Yeah.
That's when some light bulbs started going off. I was like, and then how long does it take to make a vaccine? I'm like, I don't know. My psych textbooks are like 9-10 years.
Yeah.
Not 6 months.
Yeah.
And then Moderna, AstraZeneca, Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson.
Yeah.
Some Chinese one, like all in 6 months. Yeah, put it in me. Put them all. And then what? AstraZeneca now banned. Moderna now banned. Johnson & Johnson pulled.
Yeah. No, there was a study done for
blood clots.
For how many vaccines they made in 6 months. Some guys, like, for how many vaccine companies there are, it would take like 10 years to actually make these. Honestly, we have to cut this whole section out because it'll get taken down anyways. But we'll be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
You can't have this.
You just can't say the. Maybe Danny Boy, bleep out the vaccine, whatever triggers. Oh no, we didn't say the C word, so that's fine. You can't say the C word. You know what I mean?
Really? I don't know.
Yeah, I can't say that. But they did a study on like how long it takes to make the shot, and it would take 10 years to make that many shots. So they must have known before. Plus, there's a book written on it. They have a playbook called the 2030 Great Reset. Just look it up. They said they say date by date, late 2019, this certain C word is going to come out. And
Bill Gates was talking that on TED Talks in 2015, 2016.
Yeah. He said on national TV that we're going to depopulate the world through vaccines if we're good at it.
Yeah, he was like abortion and vaccines. I watched that.
I'm
like, am I actually seeing this? I'm like,
everyone's just like, oh, okay, yeah, good vaccine. I booked it.
I'm like, I'm starting to feel like Alex Jones here, man. I was like, I'm watching a TED Talk of Bill Gates verbatim say, through vaccination and reproductive rights, which is a pseudonym of abortion.
Yeah,
we're gonna control the population and hopefully bring it down. I'm like, okay.
Well, I figured out the playbook what they're doing. So they're very smart. So they're doing it like, let's say, 5 different ways. So there's no one can get sued or no alarms are raised. So what they did is, step one is they're gonna make people hate or too expensive to have children. That's been accomplished. Step 2 is Gen Z now identifies 40% as gay, so they're not going to have kids. Step 3 is when they start doing hormone blockers and it's starting to increase, it's actually sterilization, right? They're sterilizing. So if you successfully target 20 to 40% of a population and they don't have kids, and you're at, say, just an easy number, 5 billion people, right? This is an easy number, or 9 billion people. Let's say it's 10. That means you're down to 6 billion people in 20 years. So a successful 40% decrease, right? That's just the first couple steps. Now the other steps are poisoning the foods, fast foods. Have fast food so cheap, it's the only thing you can afford to buy because you're so broke all the time. Step 5 is there's now so much estrogen from the birth control pill in our water because it doesn't get filtered out properly.
Turn the freaking frogs gay.
It's true though.
Hey, Alex.
Yeah. That
they're trying to kill the people.
Because I went through the testosterone therapy. I studied this all. It's true. If you have too much estrogen, kills all natural testosterone. So your estrogen's high, testosterone's low. It makes you not fertile, makes you not want to have kids, makes you have ED, no erectile dysfunction, like you can't have a dick or a boner, and you get super fat and you get super docile and super weak and mental weak as a man. That's what's happening with men nowadays. The men are so low testosterone, and the microplastics is the next big pandemic that they're not talking about. There's such a 1 in 5 guys now are on TRT in North America. It's the biggest trend now moving forward is all these TRT clinics are popping up all over the States and Canada, because what a great way to control men's testosterone is by giving them scripts for it, right? And now I've been a month off of it clean. I was
going to ask.
Yeah, no, I was on for 4 years. I'm off it only because I have to get pregnant. So I'm on the what Loney's doing, HCG and all that stuff. I get my sperm test in 2 days.
Throwing Loney under the bus.
No, because that's what we were talking.
Any other personal secrets from Sean we should know about? What does Sean like to do?
Yeah.
What's Sean using?
Yeah, no.
I gotta make him watch this.
No, because TRT is like almost male birth control. Like it just lowers your sperm count. Like I miss it. Like I feel really good off of it. I feel
off of it. You feel good.
I feel mentally good. The only thing I noticed different. I took low doses. I only took 100 milligrams a week. Most people take 200. So it's like my high and low is really like medium for me. My first week was fine. Week 2 was okay. Week 3 was I was like lock the guns. I don't want to find them. Put all the sharp knives away. Please don't talk to me for 24 hours. I was thrown in neutral. I put myself in neutral, so I'm just limp. I don't want to act on what I'm thinking. I was just clinically, mentally suicidal.
Brutal.
Just for, thank God, only lasted a day and a half. And then I took my first shot of HCG, a good fucking full
and
pull.
that just stimulates your testes to make your own natural stuff?
Yeah, so my test levels on testosterone were 25. Then I went off TRT and I shot down to 8.2, which is like the same as an 8-year-old man, like really low. So it's a huge drop, like just energy-wise and recovery-wise. And then I took my HCG shots. Now I'm shot up to 16. It's not still like anything over 20 is great. Between 10 and 20 is like gets you by.
I need to get one of those shots.
And then, but the only thing I do miss is my recovery time. Like I used to play 5 games a week. Now I'm down to 2. My gym is like these 5 days a week. Now it's like 2.5. Like just because I don't want to go. I'm just so sore after. I'm like, holy, this is what you guys feel like at 40.
I'm noticing that too.
Well, like
I'm so weak. I can't even bench like the 45 plates, man.
Yeah.
I was more strong when I was like 17.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, yeah, obviously. Your
no, but like when I was on TRT, I was playing 3 games a day in hockey plus gym. And I would be fine after I'd go to the gym first thing. Like the recovery is amazing. Like I would never get sore. And when I got off, I started having ankle problems, lower back problems. I turned this way, my back would go. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I just noticed that more. I'd noticed the energy I still have great energy. Like, energy's perfect.
How old are you? I'm 1 year older
37,
than you, right?
yeah.
Oh, you're 37?
Yeah, but I have really good diet. Like, my diet's fucking on point.
Has to be.
Yeah, it has to be on. Like TRT is not just a miracle drug. You have to the diet, right?
Absolutely.
So I got my dad on TRT. He's 62 and now he's like he can work a whole day at work. He can get it up again. He's like I don't get sore or tired anymore. Nice. I get anxious. I got to go fucking do something. But like that's the only thing. The worst thing about TRT is I started getting anxiety panic attacks. That fucked me up. I was like I would get 1 a week and like 5 out of 10 on a scale bad. Like I'd get like. Because you just get so much energy, you just have to you just can't get tired. So you got to go for a run, a hike, a jog.
That's great.
Workout.
If you had to pick one or the other, which it seems to be when you get older, it's like
TRT.
No energy, or would you rather
TRT? I'm going back on. Yeah, 100%. I just, I'm probably gonna go off till January. Just little break. Because the one thing I also notice is when I get mad, I calm down in a second. When I got mad on TRT, I'd be mad for a day. And I'd just be so hateful in my head. I'd be always angry if I got mad. Now it's just like I'm mad for like a couple seconds. I'm like, oh, I'm calm. again.
Sexual health, you're just like a little kid again.
Actually, my sexual, I'm more interested in sex off of it.
You're what?
So like I'm more like off of TRT. I'm more hornier.
Really?
Yeah, because I study one thing. So TRT is just a testosterone replacement, but if you take it for too long, you don't create this DHEA hormone. You don't create LH or FH hormones. And if you take too much TRT, too much TRT can turn into estrogen. If you have too much estrogen, you can't get a boner.
Right.
Yeah. So I got to the point where I just needed a break. I just felt like I needed a break. I just like, you just get to a point where just like, I need to come off. I need a break. I just need just a break. Plus, I also want to see, like, because now that I lost 50 pounds, I heard that you can almost recover your natural test. And then I want to see.
That would be the dream.
Yeah, I'm doing a blood work every 2 weeks now. I do it on Wednesday. I'm going to go off. I take my last shot. I have to do HCG till she's pregnant. So, because the doctor says I have to do that once she's pregnant, I'm going to go off HCG. I'm going to go natural for 2 to 3 months, just blood work every 2 weeks, just to see where I'm naturally, see where I sit, see if I improved myself. I was on steroids my entire 20s, so 4 years in my 30s of just TRT. But yeah, I miss that. I also miss that. It gives you some oomph to it. Like, gives you like that extra like set, that extra, like you're fearless. Now I'm more like docile and I think before I do things. That's the only thing different. Yeah, like Loney, he's back on it now. He's on the TRT.
Is he?
Yeah.
What else is Sean on?
That's all.
What else is Loney on?
That's all we talked about.
I was golfing with him and Tyler last month.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Sean. He's a good guy.
How is Tyler? Is he over there now?
Yeah, he buggered off to Ontario. He's doing some school.
Yeah. Did he sell or he's moved out of the house, right?
Yep.
Yeah, his dad's house there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's doing his program over there and then he's coming back here.
I don't know if he's going to come back here, but yeah. When he finishes, like a lot of churches will reach out to him and say, hey, I guess they'll get to know him along the way through teachers and he'll have to start like preaching and practicing in his 3rd or 4th year. And then if he's liked, then you get recruited pretty quick.
This is why I want to talk to you about your hair. So because you're Christian, what do you think is going to happen? Like, you see what the government's doing to Christianity, the LGBT gays, on Easter, they did the trans thing, you see what they're trying.
The Olympics, you mean?
Yeah, the Olympics, like they're attacking your culture so bad. Like, what do you guys think about that?
Yeah. So I don't speak on behalf of all Christians, that's for sure. For me, on one level, it's insulting. But on another level, like Jesus tells us to expect persecution and we're not to take revenge. And you can make an argument like, I mean, that opens up a door. Like what is the Christian position towards animosity? Well, what was Jesus's? And he says, turn the other cheek. But that can also go too far, some would argue. And I kind of go there. Like, I think we should fight for what's right and what's good, and we shouldn't just be doormats to be walked all over.
Yeah, because what you said, you should turn the other cheek, but that can get too far where you get pushed over too much, which I think you guys are getting totally steamrolled right now, just from an outsider point of view. Like the amount of disrespect and what they're doing to your guys' culture. And I actually agree with a lot of what Christians do in their family values and traditional values. I think it's a beautiful thing. I just don't agree on a few other things, but
sure.
But I think they're shitting on you guys. And then I have a few Christian friends that have been on the podcast or Catholic friends. I'm like, why don't you guys just stand up for yourselves? Like stand up for what you believe in. Like
well, a lot do. Like you'll have our I don't know who you follow, but if you follow like Candace Owens or Charlie Kirk, like they do. We do. But we're not called to be violent. And
weren't you guys violent back in the Templar days?
Yeah, we there was the Crusade.
I think Christianity was one of the most violent religions back in the day when it first started.
Yeah.
Massacres.
Well, we can debate that, but it's in response to Islamic crusades as well. So,
well, do you not think this is an Islamic crusade in a different way? You do know what's going to happen in the next 20, 30 years, just based on math. Like the majority of people, like yes, there will be Christian pockets for sure, but your religion in Western cultures is on a massive decline, just by outbreeding. Like if you have more of them, versus less of you. Like, yes, Christians do have kids, but you're not having enough.
Yeah, I guess I would argue that the Christian goal isn't to, kick ass and just take over the world.
But you're dying religion based on math. If you guys just do what you're doing today and just continue this path.
The true church will never die. Real Christians will always be. The fakes, the cultural Christians.
You do know what happens when, say, an Islamic country takes over a country? It's their faith or not yours. And if they find out you're a different faith, you're removed, like one way or another.
Yeah.
Right. So if you're not breathing, then who's going to breathe your religion?
If I'm not breathing, who's
breathing?
Breathing.
Yeah. Because you know what Christians and Catholics did back in the day, back and forth. You guys did it to each other forever, whatever it is. That's not your fault. That's back in the day. But like, if the Islam countries come in, which they are, the Muslim countries, they're totally different than us, and they just take over society and they make it all a law or whatever it is, and you're not allowed to practice your beliefs. Yes, there'll be underground places, or you could do it in your house or yourself, whatever it is.
Sure.
But your influence of recruiting or spreading the word goes from today to a lot less, right? So like, turning another cheek is like, eventually, like, you got to stand up for yourself and your beliefs, right? And you got to fight back.
I do, and I will, but I don't feel any.
Do you think it's coming sooner than later?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I mean, just for the heck of it, entertain me and read the book of Revelation. It's the last book. It's super interesting and confusing. And read some of Jesus' teachings. Like, he's clear. In the end times, Christians will be slaughtered. And they already are on a lot of parts of the world. Africa and the Middle East, it's illegal to be a Christian. China, you can't proselytize. It's very dangerous. It's social suicide too. Like, if your family or friends find out you're Christian, you're done.
Yeah.
Just like it was in Jesus' time.
Yeah.
All the early Christians were all brutally murdered. All of them. Almost all of them.
Just because your religion, they just murder you. Just your mindset.
Jesus was a revolutionary. They hated him. They killed him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And all of his followers, fed to lions, impaled, lit on fire, eaten alive, stripped of all their belongings. He's clear. To follow me is a death sentence.
Yeah.
And that's
wild.
Yeah. And we've had it very comfortable here. Christianity has been very milk toast. We've had it very good. It's been prosperous. It's been free. It's
because
been
of our
safe.
ancestors. Yeah. Our ancestors made it like this. Yeah.
That was our culture, was Judeo-Christian values through most of Europe and North America. And it's definitely going to change.
Yeah.
It is changing.
Yeah.
It's sad.
It's scary. Yeah.
And it's a good question. Like, what is the Christian response? It's not a violent one. But that doesn't mean don't do nothing.
Well, like,
but
if I'm going to be a general in a military, like, it's going to come down to a civil war, not just the Christians, a civil war overall countries. Sure. It's already a civil war in UK, right? Like, it's going to happen. It's inevitable. You have extreme views both ways. It's going to happen in Canada. Like, people, like, I hear whispers from people that are like people like my mom, Karen's, like normal fucking people. They're like, we're done. We're fed up. All it takes is a paid off Antifa to get this person to stab this person, kill this person. It's publicized all over the news, and it's war. Like, you're at war with your neighbors. It's game on. That's all it is. Tit for tat. That's what's going on in the UK. It's already started. Like, it's too far past saving. It's literally tit for tat, and it's going to happen in the States. They have 20 million that they know about that got through. And like, they're like, it could be more. And like, the States has guns, and they are way more redneck than us, and they are hardcore beliefs down there. Like, they're ready to. That's the one thing I almost admire about the States. They're ready to go. All it takes is a spark. Imagine if Trump did get killed. Like, he did get shot. We'd be in a civil war 6 months ago, still going on today. It would be a massacre on both sides. You would hope that would.
You think so? I don't know. You think there'd be a civil war if Trump got killed?
If they doesn't, then there's no point in fighting. Just because if you don't stand up for something, you'll fall for anything. That's the biggest thing. As a man, like I will destroy everyone. If my house got kicked in or robbed or whatever, or my family's put at gunpoint, like, it would be war. Like, there's no turning back. Like, they came kill my family, I'm gonna kill their entire bloodline. Sure. Like, that's just game on. There's just, it's gonna go on. It's gonna happen no matter what. It's just right now. It's like a tectonic plates. They're just like fucking like this, man, and it's gonna fucking slip on one side or the other. Who knows what side it's going to start on? It might even be a false flag just to get it going.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, the Nazi flag, I just paid actors to get it going. They want a civil war so bad. What a best way to destroy a country is not by military force, but like destroy the minds, LGBTQ, 40% are gay, collapse the population, the Browns outbreed us, immigrants outbreed us, and then the population's replaced with just different people. You know, it's the perfect way to invade a country. It's almost absolutely brilliant, and I love it. It's so, from a general's like military mind, it's a brilliant tactic. It's so good. They don't even have to do anything. It's like keyboard warrior, like, oh, you should believe this, you should believe this, and then promote it on all TikToks, and people start believing what they see, right? So, and the West is on a massive decline. You can see it, like our intelligence, just our general IQ on the average person. They know more about a football roster than they know about what's going on in their own backyard. They know more about a football stats than they know what's going in their body food-wise or water-wise. And I try to have this conversation with them, and they're just like, huh? You're a conspiracy theorist. I'm like, turn out the amount of time you do on football stats and football fantasy, do it on what you eat every day. Dude, it's not hard. Or your finances, or how much you're getting ripped off by the government, or it's just like, it's retardo. Like it's almost like the Roman Colosseum effect. Keep feeding them, you know, 365 days of games, feed them free bread while we're getting invaded. Entertain the sheep, bro. You know, like as a dad, just because I have kids, and I believe that, you know, North America is worth fighting for and save. It used to be a beautiful place and can be a beautiful place, and can be multicultural for sure. But it has to be like, if I went to India or China, I have to conform to their ways and their beliefs. That's just how it fucking is. I can't even buy property there. You know, I can't even run for government there. They laugh at the idea. I can't even go to the military, police, nothing. Like, I have to be a born citizen. Same should go for here. Like, they shouldn't be allowed to come here and buy property. They shouldn't be allowed to be your employer. They should not be able to tell you what to do and where to go. They should not force their beliefs on you.
Who's they? Any immigrants?
Any immigrants from Ukraine, Germany. It doesn't matter. Like I have my Ukrainian friends that came over here. They're like, yeah, when we come to Canada, we know we have to conform to your laws and your ways. It's Canada. You know, whatever your law is where it goes. In Toronto, the immigrants, they're like, all law trumps all law, even if it's like federal law. What if Allah doesn't agree with it? We don't have to listen to it. We now want Sharia law.
Sharia law.
We want women to cover up. We want this to happen. They now have to play. I think it's the mosque or their prayers every 4 days, whatever the fuck it is. In Toronto now, that's mandatory.
Well, that's the Canadian conundrum, right? We're so tolerant, and we allow the practice of free religion, and so in one sense, that is our law. They can come and practice their religion. And we don't ever say up until what point. And then nobody will say what that is.
Because
right, you can. I mean, my town is perfect, right? So there's a church, there's a mosque, there's a East Indian, there's a Hindu temple, there's a Sikh temple, all within 5 minutes. I mean, that's Canada. Tolerant. Practice your religion.
I think it's the extremists. Like I had there's a group site for BC site, just concerned citizen site, and I was just like, why don't we have a law that if you're a foreigner from any country, if you commit a crime, you're deported the next day? Why is that not just a thing? You know, just keep the extremist people out. You know, like how you said, I have 5 different religions within 5 minutes of each other. That's fine. They all get along. But yeah, there's extremists from any of them that can come over here and start some shit. So I got booted and banned from that Facebook because they're like, oh, you're racist. I'm like, I didn't even say a race. I just said from any country. And then finally, a month later, the cops are like, now the new law is if you're a foreigner and you come here, we're going to deport you the next day if you commit any crime on any level. If you come to Canada, you need to respect our laws. Simple as that. You list the last 50 shootings in BC. All similar last names. You know, like weird conspiracy. Like, come on. Like, and then a bunch of cops are finally saying it. They're like, if you come to our country, you think you're gonna come here and shoot everyone up because you're not getting your way, or gang wars or whatever it is, you're gone. You're deported. We're not gonna deal with you. You're banned from Canada. I'm like, that's not a racist thing. That's a nationalist thing. Like they do it over there, man.
Yeah, it sounds racist until you kind of flip the analogy and say, well, if I went to Japan and lived there and I started causing crime and whatever and did something horrific, I'd be gone the next day. Then they wouldn't be racist for doing that. It's Japan first, or Korea first, or China first, or
I know,
or
it's
Nigeria
so simple.
first, right?
And the funny thing is,
as soon as you bring that conversation up in the reverse here,
Yeah, well, because everyone's so scared of being canceled or called racist, but like everyone thinks it. Everyone I talk to, like I said, people at my lake house, they're all like,
well, including ironically, including immigrants.
yeah, immigrants, like people that are like, I have few immigrant clients that got their PRs and like, why do they make fun of me? They joke around like, why do you allow us to do this, bro? Like we are your landlords now. Like, well, why do you allow us? Like, if you came to our country, you can't do this shit to us. I'm like, I have no answer, bro. Honestly, I have no answer, dude. I think everyone's so scared of, like, for example, I was just my real estate class for my Alberta license, and the most fucked up thing happened. I had to learn. They were teaching us, it wasn't even about real estate. The first video I had to learn was respect immigrants, help them find houses. Also, white people devastated the native population here. We should believe in reconciliation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you should not, love your ancestors. That was a video I had to learn.
The DEI training, diversity, equity, and inclusion.
I'm like, what does this have to do with real estate at all? You know what I mean? I'm just like, this is like why are you making me want to hate myself? And, yes, massacring any race, but does Germany hate itself? Does India hate itself? China was 5 nations at once. They're in the Qin dynasty won the revolution against all the other dynasties, and that's why it's called China. It was Qin dynasty. Now it's called China. This added an A to it. If you study Chinese history, like they all killed each other. Japan killed each other. Like everyone has killed. Like Civil War in America, they have all killed each other. Like
I said, the only atrocities that we want to acknowledge are ours.
Yeah.
Every culture has had slaves and committed genocide and done horrific things.
Yeah.
Every single race. Literally, name one.
Yeah.
The natives were some of the most brutal warriors. The Comanches slaughtered across the United States. They just slaughtered every other tribe.
Yeah. No,
they were feared. They were revered. That's why we think they're cool. They're these warrior conquer guys. You're like, cool. But
yeah, no, I was thinking about this because when I was in Fort Langley, I was like, how come they're not talking about the tribal wars with the Indians? Like what you were just talking about. Like, how is that not even brought up? Like, yeah, we came over here. That's that's what all conquering nations do. Like look at Russia. Like, they're not hating on Germany still. Like Germany almost wiped them out in World War II. France, almost got wiped. Did get wiped out in World War II from Germany. They still get along, and people are still together, and they're getting along. We still like. During the C war, the 2022 years, they tried, what they were banning, when they put sanctions on Russia for the Ukraine war, they're like, oh, we should ban Russian oil, Russian this, Russian that. I'm like, how come we don't have bans on like Volkswagen or BMW or Audi from World War II from Germany or Mercedes? Yeah. Like, why is that allowed? You know what I mean? Like
Hugo Boss, I think, was what made or helped make the Nazi uniforms.
Yeah, I just like we're like people don't know their history. That's the problem, and Russia.
And it's very careful, like it's intentional.
Yeah.
The only narrative that seems to be pushed is the one that always traces back to white people being bad. If you look at every narrative that's prominent.
Yeah.
If it leads to the white man being guilty of something.
Yeah.
Then that gets propagated.
Well, the crazy thing about schooling now is if I have I think they're considered my step cousins or whatever they are. They're in grade 8 and grade 9. If you're a straight white couple, you're a loser now. Yeah.
They'll have all the kids. If they're white, they'll be bombarded with, look what you've done. You're held. These little kids are supposed to be guilty for things that their great grandparents did.
Yeah. Or tearing down statues of founding fathers. Yeah. I'm like, if they didn't do what they did, you wouldn't have the privileges or anything of today of just even living here. You'd still be fucking God knows where on whatever situation it is.
White people were the first to end slavery.
Yeah.
We made it illegal. I mean, there's more slaves today than there was 150 years ago.
Yeah, I did a podcast on that. Just with child slavery, sex slavery, even debt system slavery. Yeah, more all slaves today.
No one wants to talk about that.
Yeah,
why?
Well, you're a slave to debt on a computer screen. Like I do with real estate all the time. Like you guys are working 10 jobs for the rest of your life to pay off $4,000 a month interest per day from a family of 4. For what? Because the bank literally prints money. They don't. It's called fractal banking. I studied it. Is they just money's there. Like you don't. Their money's not even there's no money. It's just digital. There's paper money is a paper note that they bank guarantees you that money is there, but it's not. If you ran on the banks, it's not there. The money, like if there's a revolution or like a crash tomorrow, your paper money is useless. The fiat currency actually is dying because of the BRICS nations with Russia, Saudi Arabia, China. They're all joining up against the West. They got rid of the American dollar. Like Trump even said, like that's worse than losing World War III. We have no influence now. Our American dollar is now worth nothing. If you have money laying somewhere in a bank, it's literally worth nothing. And it's a trick. It's like a 10-year effect. You're gonna start seeing the dollar. You're gonna see gold, real assets go up, go up. You see, I bet how they saved this cryptocurrency. Oh, to save the dollar, we brought in this cryptocurrency. You know, everyone's $1 for $1. This is the only way we could save everyone's money. You know, blah blah blah. Or everyone's debts are paid off. Whatever it is. Yeah. You gotta go.
Yeah, I gotta go.
Yeah. Well, that was
yeah.
That was
Thanks for having me. That was fun.
I don't know how long we talked for. How long we talked for?
Hour and a half.
I don't know.
Hour and a half, I think. No.
Maybe, I don't know. I didn't time it this time. It's recorded though. Yeah. Cool, man. Well, thanks for coming on.